Straight ahead on the Northwestern News Report. The University of Missouri is under fire tonight as its president has resigned amid protests.
New details in the case of the Illinois cop that sparked a manhunt in September.
And a few Democratic strategists dropped by campus over the weekend.
All those stories and more coming up on the Northwestern News Report. It's your news right now.
You need to get out.
I actually don't.
All right. Hey, who wants to help me get this reporter out of here? I need some muscle over here. Help me get him out.
Racial tensions at the University of Missouri lead to changes in the administration. That's our top story tonight. Good evening and welcome to the Northwestern News Report. I'm Orko Manna.
And I'm Tal Axelrod. Thanks for joining us. University of Missouri President Tim Wolf resigned yesterday over his handling of racial incidents on campus. Minority students organized protests after a swastika was painted on campus, and some reported hearing racial slurs. Members of the football team boycotted games and practices, and one student went on a hunger strike. Tensions boiled over further yesterday when protesters blocked members of the media from entering a section of campus. Video surfaced of a Mizzou professor in the Department of Communications with a courtesy appointment to the journalism school, telling a student reporter he had to leave. An unconfirmed Twitter account believed to belong to the journalism school dean David Kerpius says Professor Melissa Click's courtesy appointment has been revoked. Joining us now is KOMU's Adam Pressler live in Columbia, Missouri with more. Adam, we know that the professor apologized and signs telling the media to stay out of the area have been removed and replaced with some signs supporting the media. Has there been any other fallout from this protester-reporter clash?
I think the one thing that's been really important with this fallout is the idea of First Amendment rights. Everyone's really been looking at this at a new angle today, Tuesday. Monday, there was a lot of tension. Things were very violent, you could say, and you've seen those videos. I think today was much more peaceful. People understood that everyone wanted their respect and that by showing respect, you were going to get that back.
And the main complaints are over the administration's lack of response to numerous racial incidents on campus, leading to the football boycotts and hunger strike. Have you seen these issues brewing for a while, or did it just erupt recently?
This is definitely something that's been going on in the Columbia community as well as within the University of Missouri community. It started when Peyton had the Missouri Student Association president posted on his Facebook about an altercation that had occurred when he was allegedly called a racial slur. From there, things escalated pretty quickly. Like you said, there was the swastika that was drawn on one of the residence hall's walls, as well as a peaceful but a protest that occurred during the homecoming parade on October 5th. And then finally, things really went into what the national media has paid most attention to was the hunger strike by Jonathan Butler, the MU grad student, as well as the peaceful protesting by concerned student group 1950. So I think that that's definitely that has been escalating for since about middle of September now. So yes, definitely something like that.
And the racial incident with Peyton Head, is that a confirmed report?
It's not confirmed, but it was posted on his Facebook as sort of a public service announcement, I would say. There's not an official statement or any legal action that's been taken, more of a informational message given to our community.
And what's next for the University of Missouri?
I think one thing, as far as the university is concerned, right now they're going to be placing faculty in interim positions. So, for instance, today Chuck Henson was named the interim vice chancellor for inclusion, diversity, and equality. From there, they'll continue to fill those positions as well as look for long-term solutions to filling the leadership roles that are going to be changing. Beyond that, I think that just within the community, I think people understand that there's need for action. People need to come together, I think, in a way that would be positive so that both as a community within Mizzou and the Columbia community, we can all work together to try and solve these problems one at a time and, really give everybody the rights that they deserve.
All right, thank you, Adam, for the report.
Thank you.
We turn now to a story that's brought national attention to Northern Illinois. Investigators concluded this week that Charles Joseph Glenowitz, the Illinois police officer whose death prompted an enormous manhunt earlier this year, actually committed suicide. NNN's Eric Miller joins us live in the studio with more. Eric?
Thanks, Orko. This story began back in September when Lieutenant Glenowitz radioed that he was in pursuit of 3 suspects. He was later found shot with 2 gunshot wounds, and federal and state police then staged a massive manhunt that ultimately turned up nothing. Glenowitz was then honored with an 18-mile funeral procession, and charities have been taking collections for his family.
Eric, when did police decide there was more to this story?
Police from the Lake County Major Crime Task Force have sifted through hundreds of documents and emails that showed that Glenowitz had been stealing thousands of dollars from a Lake County police program to mentor youths. In fact, Glenowitz had been stealing for almost 7 years. Now, the village of Fox Lake has been conducting an internal audit that documents show had Glenowitz in a panic, and it looks like this suicide was the only way he saw that he could save face.
And Eric, how was he able to get away with it?
Well, Glenowitz had extensive experience staging crime scenes for police training exercises, and that's something that the Lake County coroner pointed out in his report. Investigators say that Glenowitz laid a very careful trail, starting with a dropped can of pepper spray in his baton and ending with the 2 gunshot wounds.
And this is a story that's gotten a lot of attention over the past week. So what's the reaction been like in Fox Lake?
Well, Orko, prior to all this, Glenowitz was a really respected member of the community. He was a veteran with a sterling reputation, and during Glenowitz's funeral on Labor Day, thousands of people attended. Since all this has come out, though, there's been an enormous backlash. Signs put up around Fox Lake to honor Glenowitz were vandalized with things like liar and traitor, and the charities that were taking money for his family have asked for their gifts to be given back. It's all been a tremendous strain on the community.
Thank you very much, Eric. We'll have more updates as this story develops.
A trio of prominent former aides for President Obama celebrated the 3rd anniversary of his 2012 re-election victory at Northwestern on Friday. David Axelrod, Jeremy Bird, and John Favreau discussed the president's legacy and the upcoming 2016 election with NU professor Larry Stupinagel as part of the Northwestern College Democrats Speaker Series. While all 3 expressed pride in the innovative campaign efforts that secured the president's place in the Oval Office, they also reflected on the scope of Obama's policy impact since those days of hope and change in 2008 and 2012.
You get involved in campaigns and they're all consuming, but they're really not just about winning elections, they're about what you do after you win the election. And, so what I feel is very proud, because I think we helped elect the president who made a real long-lasting, substantive contribution to this country. I think history is going to be very good to him.
On the other side of the aisle, the Northwestern College Republicans will welcome former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich to campus on November 16th.
And coming up, what changes you may start to see in Evanston public restrooms.
I'm Nikki Griswold, and coming up, I'll have your 5-day weather forecast.
Did you know this
Western,
when you said
we're
your town
Wildcats
felt
in
like
every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
Why hang around waiting for opportunity to knock when instead you can track opportunity down and knock on its door? You might ask, What's the best way to identify where opportunity lives? Here's a hint. Its door is colored purple. Northwestern University. Opportunity awaits your knock.
Why spend your entire life looking for some on-ramp to the road to opportunity when there's already a well-traveled path? So you may be wondering, what does that path look like? Is it paved with gold? Well, here's a hint. It's actually paved with purple. Northwestern University. Your road starts here.
Hi, I'm Nikki Griswold, and this is your 5-day weather forecast. The clocks might have turned back, but fall weather will be sticking around for a bit longer here in Evanston. Despite some clouds and wind, Wednesday's temperatures will reach 63 degrees with a low of 47. Thursday morning will bring some rain as temperatures drop, ending the week on a chilly note with some wind and a high of 47 degrees on Friday. Saturday will bring mostly clear skies and a high of 56 degrees just in time to cheer on the Northwestern football team as they take on Purdue in their last home game of the year. Make sure to enjoy the sun and the 60-degree weather this Sunday, which might be one of the last warm days of this fall season. I'm Nikki Griswold, and this has been your 5-day weather forecast.
The city of Evanston is making changes to some of its restrooms. All of Evanston's public facilities with single occupancy restrooms will receive gender-neutral signs under an ordinance Evanston aldermen approved in late October. City officials state that in order to adhere to a state plumbing code requirement, these gender-neutral signs will only be placed at facilities that have solely a single restroom or at facilities that contain 3 or more restrooms. Evanston businesses with public restrooms will have 60 days to agree to the ordinance. Sylvia Reagan, publicity chair for the Rainbow Alliance, says this is a huge step for gender equality.
It's definitely good to know that the city of Evanston is thinking about the needs of trans people and non-binary people. Yeah, and it's good to know that there'll be places where people can use the bathroom and feel comfortable.
Signs will not be changing for multi-occupancy restrooms, but residents may use whichever restroom they identify with and will not be questioned for documentation verifying their gender.
We wanted to know what you think about the new gender-neutral bathroom signs in this week's edition of Rock Talk.
I think this is a great change. Public facilities should be able to be accessed by all, and so whether you identify as transgender or not, whatever it may be, you should have the right to be able to access those facilities.
I definitely think it's a good idea. Evanston's a really progressive city, and I think it's time that they recognize that gender-neutral bathrooms are something that they need in the city.
I think that's a good idea to post gender-neutral signs, just because it doesn't really hurt anyone, and I suppose it's more accepting to people that would otherwise feel closed off, maybe.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great way for Northwestern to show their acceptance, and it's really subtle and conspicuous. So I think it's a great idea, and even it's available for everyone. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a change, but it can make like a world of a difference in the lives of some people.
I think it's a good idea just for males and females, and it just breaks down gender norms and allows for more gender equality. So yeah, overall great idea.
If you have an idea for a future Rock Talk topic, tweet at us at NNN_news. Late last month, Northwestern's Native American Outreach and Inclusion Task Force launched an initiative to build a space for Indigenous Studies scholars. The university is currently searching for 2 prospective scholars that will work with the initiative to refine their Indigenous Studies focus. This academic work will serve as a basis for the Future Center, which intends to expand community discourse on Native American issues. Until the center's completion, these 2 junior faculty members will be situated in the Institute for Policy Research and the Kaplan Institute for Humanities. By placing them in 2 existing interdisciplinary homes, the university plans to embed Native American studies in intriguing areas for the community, bringing different groups together.
The reason that we create a college campus with a diversity of students from different backgrounds, different geographical areas, different socioeconomic status, different religions and ethnicities and races, is that you meet people who you might not have met growing up in your home community. And that broadens your understanding about important issues, about the way the world works.
The Indigenous Studies Research Initiative is just one example of Northwestern's ongoing Native American outreach efforts.
And up next, a new club at Northwestern that's got students talking.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, spread for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
Why hang around waiting for opportunity to knock when instead you can track opportunity down and knock on its door? You might ask, what's the best way to identify where opportunity lives? Here's a hint. Its door is colored purple. Northwestern University. Opportunity awaits your knock.
Why spend your entire life looking for some on-ramp to the road to opportunity when there's already a well-traveled path? So you may be wondering, what does that path look like? Is it paved with gold? Well, here's a hint. It's actually paved with purple. Northwestern University. Your road starts here.
Northwestern attracts students from a variety of countries around the world, but until recently, the campus lacked a place for students to practice their foreign language skills with their peers. NNN's Fallon Gallagher has the story.
Thanks, Tal. Linguistics major Kate McCarter has spent years honing a wide set of language skills in the classroom, but wanted to find a more natural place to practice her Spanish.
After learning there was no on-campus club, Kate created Campus Language Connection, a student-run informal language exchange program.
I wanted to create an opportunity for students to be able to practice their language kind of outside of a classroom setting, learn more colloquial speech.
The program matches native speakers of different languages who are interested in learning their partner's language. Kate uses a highly selective database system to pair the students. Once paired, Kate gives the participants guidelines for how to spend their time together in order to help bring people together from different communities.
You're connecting with different students on campus, you're kind of engaging in a different community, and you're also expanding your community, so you're getting to meet with different people.
It's easy for students to expand their communities because it's easy for them to get involved. Students can go to campuslanguageconnection.com and fill out the profile to be matched with other participants. The program already has 165 participants who speak 23 different languages. But with such diverse student representation, it's important to create cohesive spaces on campus.
I think it's really important for a student to organize something on campus that tries to connect everybody because we are so diverse and we have so many cultures and international students here, and to kind of try and bring everyone together, because I know it's easy to stay in your groups. Like if you're uncomfortable, you want to stay with people that you know, but kind of get everyone to branch out and help other students better understand cultures.
Campus Language Connection is open to all Northwestern students, including undergraduates, graduates, and spouses. From Evanston, Fallon Gallagher, Northwestern News Network.
Campus Language Connection will host its kickoff event this Thursday.
Under a new dining initiative on campus, anyone can be a food critic. NNN's Matt Dunn and Caitlin Boudreau have more.
A new food advisory board, led by Associated Student Government Director of Dining Initiatives Sandeep Bharadwaj, is hoping to improve the dining experience on campus.
But the goal of the food advisory board is to get more broad input.
Bharadwaj is hopeful that this year's board will come up with new and exciting changes.
The best way to do that is word of mouth, and because this group brings together people from so many different backgrounds, we're going to get, I guess, perspectives from all around the Northwestern community.
Bardwaj also hopes to give people more information about the food they are eating.
I know one of the big things that people spoke about was labeling food products better. You see nutrition facts right now, you don't really see all the ingredients on the food products, and a lot of people are very passionate about that.
Rachel Frazen, a vegetarian, agrees that labeling is a major issue in campus dining halls.
I feel like sometimes things are like mislabeled or like they're hard to tell what's what, and that's kind of the biggest issue for me, is trying to figure out if it is vegetarian or not.
While the board application deadline has passed, students can still voice their opinions.
We are opening up applications for boards again in winter. We're always looking for more people to come out. It's a very open process. We want to involve everyone because food is something that affects everyone.
Caitlin Boudreau, Northwestern News Network.
The 10-person board met for the first time today to brainstorm new changes. And when we come back, we'll take a look at this next week in sports.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, spread for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
Why hang around waiting for opportunity to knock when instead you can track opportunity down and knock on its door? You might ask, what's the best way to identify where opportunity lives? Here's a hint. Its door is colored purple. Northwestern University. Opportunity awaits your knock.
Why spend your entire life looking for some on-ramp to the road to opportunity when there's already a well-traveled path? So you may be wondering, what does that path look like? Is it paved with gold? Well, here's a hint. It's actually paved with purple. Northwestern University. Your road starts here.
Welcome back. And now we turn to sports, and tonight we have Olivia Reiner here with us in the studio. Olivia, the Wildcat football team pulled off another win this weekend. What can we look forward to next?
Yes, so the Wildcats will take on the Purdue Boilermakers on Saturday for their last home game of the season. The number 18 Cats will look to pull out a big win coming off of a pretty big game against Penn State this weekend. Why don't we take a look at some of those highlights from the game this past weekend? George R.R. Martin made a special appearance at Ryan Field for the game. Northwestern's fans excited to welcome him. 4 minutes in to go in the quarter, Clayton Thorson with a 13-yard pass to Christian Jones, but that would be Thorson's last appearance. He sustained an injury on the play. Zach Oliver replaces Thorson and throws a 14-yard pass to Jones here. Justin Jackson making an impact here. He is rushing 48 yards to the Penn State 43. He would finish with 186 rushing yards for the day. Again, same drive, a 25-yard run to put the Cats in the red zone. Jackson fell just a yard short of the end zone that play. Immediately afterwards, Zach Oliver fools everyone with a fake handoff to Jackson and runs it to the end zone. Cats lead 13-0. Penn State responds, and Saquon Barkley has the 7-yard touchdown rush. Penn State trails 13-7. Solomon Vaught ends the first half on a high note for the Wildcats with a 96-yard punt return, his second of the season and third of his career, both school records. He is booking it clear path ahead all the way down to the end zone for a touchdown. Jack Mitchell's extra point attempt is good, and the Cats would go into the halftime break up 20-7. But Penn State would come back with a vengeance. Barkley rushes for the touchdown, pulling the Nittany Lions ahead 21-20. The Wildcats respond to Penn State in their final drive of the game. Zach Oliver connects here with Austin Carr, and Jack Mitchell would grab the 3 points on the field goal attempt for the Cats, bringing the score to 23-21. Penn State is unable to fight back within the final seconds of the game, and the Cats seal their 7th win of the season, 23-21. Now, I know that football season isn't over yet, but basketball is just heating up. The Wildcats took to the court Thursday night to face the Quincy University Hawks in their first exhibition game. Let's take a look at how they did. Willie and the cheer squad rallying the crowd there, and Scotty Lindsay starting things off strong. He sinks the three. Trey Demps has a layup here. Cats lead 27-17. He finished with 13 points for the night. Freshman Aaron Falzone had a 15-point performance. Here he is with a three-pointer. Cats up 33-17. And again, Falzone with his second of three three-point shots. Quincy is struggling, trailing 39-19. Alex Ola with 12 points for the night. Here he puts one in, and the Cats lead 43-24. And freshman Joey Van Zegeren had a strong night. He added 2 points here. Cats up 67-43, and they would finish 80-64. The men's basketball team returns this Friday, when they square off against UMass Lowell at Welsh Ryan Arena. That's all for sports. Thanks, guys.
And coming up, behind the scenes of Northwestern's newest production.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, spread for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
Spamalot, opening this week, retells the story of King Arthur and the Holy Grail, but this show is filled with more than just the classic tale. NNN's Kelly Norris was on the quest this week.
Music, dancing, and laughter fills McCormick Auditorium as the cast and crew of Monty Python's Spamalot prepares for opening night.
It's very ambitious, yeah, and as much as I love the show, it's pretty much all fluff. It's all this big spectacle. It's about exciting the audience and bringing them joy, and not a lot of shows have been like that in the past.
The show is also bringing joy to the unique and diverse cast and crew.
The cast is so young. I loved working with our ensemble. It's exclusively freshmen. We have 6 freshmen who do all of the dancing. They play like some 40, 50 characters between the 6 of them. It's crazy.
Although the show is a comedy, the producing team is using it as an opportunity to comment on society's gender roles. King Arthur, the main character usually played by a man, is being portrayed as a woman.
There is a lack of women in power throughout the entire world, and something that's really cool about this play is that we get to see how she treats that power and how Arthur gets that power and finds that respect, even though so many people, when they first encounter her, they do not believe that she can be king.
But until the curtains open, the team is hard at work on details big and small.
Something that we've been really proud of is just encouraging people to dream big and finding ways to make those big dreams a reality.
For NNN, Kelly Norris.
Spamalot, which is presented by the Arts Alliance, opens at 7 p.m. on, 3, 2, 1. Spamalot, which is presented by the Arts Alliance, opens at Friday at 7 p.m. in McCormick Auditorium. And that's all we have for you tonight. I'm Orko Manna.
I'm Olivia Reiner for sports.
And I'm Tal Axelrod. Thanks for watching, and have a great night.